G'day guys and girls, welcome back to SideQuest Gaming, where we take a look at both old games and new to try and uncover some of those little hidden gems you might want to give a crack and try out for yourself. Today we're diving into our weekly wrap up and looking at a range of games we looked at throughout the week, from mob dramas to survival shooters. Let's get started. Mafia. Let's start with Mafia, the 2002 cult classic crime drama that's often overshadowed by Grand Theft Auto, but deserves recognition in its own right. This is a third-person action-adventure that puts you in the shoes of Tommy Angelo, a cab driver drawn into the underworld of organised crime. The setting is the 1930s and it oozes atmosphere, from period cars to smoky bars and jazz-filled streets. The mechanics mix open-world driving, cover-based shooting and scripted missions, though the handling of cars feels deliberately old-fashioned, which can frustrate modern players but fits really well with the style. The art style and the look is fantastic. Really nails the look of Prohibition era America, and even today carries a lot of charm. And the remake, which is the one that we looked at, Mafia Definitive Edition, is definitely the best way to experience it visually. Sound design is phenomenal, authentic gunfire, strong voice acting, the voice acting is absolutely ace, and a soundtrack that anchors you to the era. It's a linear story, but a really incredible and enjoyable one, and for the value, the original is cheap, while the remake delivers a polished retelling that is well worth the price for story-driven players. Definitely worth a look. Never Alone. Never Alone is an indie puzzle platformer that doubles as a cultural storytelling project created in collaboration with the Inuit people of Alaska. The setting is the Alaskan tundra, where you play as Nuna and her Arctic fox companion, navigating snowstorms, ice fields, and mystical spirits. Mechanically, it's a side-scrolling puzzle game with light platforming and cooperative play, either with a friend or by swapping between Nuna and the fox, which is a really cool mechanic. I think it's really well done that it's quite seamless whether you want to play it single player or in a co-op fashion. The puzzles are straightforward but meaningful, tied to survival and companionship. The art style is kind of this painty, soft look that feels like stepping into an illustration. The narration, spoken in the native language, combined with traditional music, makes the sound design stand out as uniquely authentic. It's a short game, about 3 or so hours, but it's enjoyable if you appreciate the narrative-driven experiences. But it really is a game that is quite unique. It's something that niche would be the word. If you enjoy side-scrollers and looking for a co-op experience, this one might be for you, but if you're not into puzzle platformers, might not be up your alley. Planescape Torment. Planescape Torment is a legendary RPG. It was released in 1999 as an isometric CRPG, which was basically become this massive cult hit built on the Dungeons and Dragons rule set. But what makes it really special is its writing. The setting is the Planescape multiverse, starting in Sigil, the City of Doors, a surreal gothic hub full of portals to bizarre dimensions. Mechanically, it's old school. Real-time with paused combat, tons of dialogue, and deep role-playing choices. But combat is almost secondary. It's actually quite clunky. The real meat is in the writing. With over 800,000 words, the game asks philosophical questions about identity, morality, and what it means to be human. The art style is pre-rendered 2D backdrops, moody and intricate, and the sound design is hauntingly atmospheric. The graphics of the game actually hold up quite well. It's definitely dated and old, but the pre-rendered 2D backdrops still have a real appeal and are still enjoyable. The overall enjoyment of the game depends on your taste. If you love narrative-heavy games and don't mind dated combat, it's one of the best RPG experiences ever. In terms of value, the Enhanced Edition makes it playable on modern systems, and the sheer depth of the story makes it priceless for RPG fans. If you have not given this one a go, absolutely go give it a shot. It's legendary for a reason, and it's clunky and hard to get into if you haven't played it before. But I cannot recommend it enough. It is worth the slog. I got to this game later in my gaming career. I did not play it in its heyday, and it is well worth giving a go. Road to Vostok. Road to Vostok is a survival game. It's an upcoming hardcore single-player survival first-person shooter inspired by Escape from Tarkov. The setting is a post-apocalyptic border zone between Finland and Russia, the Vostok region, where survival means scavenging, looting, and fighting off AI soldiers in a world that's kind of trying for a bit of like hyper-realism. Mechanics focus on that realism style, ballistic systems, permadeath zones, and weapon customization with a day-night cycle. The weapon customization is even like, you have to load individual rounds and things like that, which really got me when I tried to shoot someone and hadn't actually primed the gun, so nothing happened and I died. It's not just about shooting though, you need to manage stamina, resources, and stealth to stay alive. The art style is grounded in realism with detailed environments, bleak forests, and abandoned towns. Sound design's realistic, like really good gunshots, environmental ambience, and tension through every encounter kind of makes it a bit nerve-wracking. While it is still in development, the enjoyment factor looks strong for fans of punishing survival shooters. This game's hard. I found it really challenging. So the value depends on how much content is kind of changes between now and launch, but also whether or not this is your cup of tea. Those kind of really punishing survival games. Worth a look. Wartales. Finally, Wartales is a medieval strategy RPG that blends mercenary company management with tactical turn-based combat in a really effective way. The setting is gritty, low fantasy world recovering from the plague, where you lead abandoned mercenaries through war-torn lands, taking contracts, exploring villages, and surviving on the road. Mechanics revolve around managing your own company, paying wages, feeding your crew, and upgrading their skills. The turn-based grid combat rewards positioning and smart resource use. It's a mix of open-world exploration and tactical strategy. The art style is great with weathered winterly landscapes and gritty battlefields, and the soundtrack is subtle, often melancholic, enhancing the feeling of wandering around a dying or, medieval world. The combat in particular is fantastic in that it's very tactical, but you can get a massive mercenary band, so you can have these really large-scale battles that are quite unique and feel really cool. It's a slow burn, but highly enjoyable if you love managing a mercenary group and watching them grow. In terms of value, it's a deep game that offers heaps of hours of playtime, easily worth the asking price for a strategy RPG fans who enjoy deep tactical turn-based combat. Anyway, that has been the weekly wrap-up. This has been SideQuest Gaming. The links to each of my first impressions of those videos are below. As always, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. I will be traveling to Europe over the next coming weeks. There will be videos still coming out each day. Please make sure you consider liking and subscribing if you have not done so already. And as always, I am interested in any suggestions you might have about videos I should take a look at. Leave them in the comments below. Have an amazing day. Catch you in the next one. Bye.